All right, I think we're finally ready to go to Baradur with LotRO. See what happens. Do a couple more quests in this line. Not on my stream, but it was mostly just running around and not doing anything very exciting. So let's talk to Damasil and do a bad birthday.
Thank you, my friend. Let us go together to Deangarth.
It's Tarendil's birthday today, and we are celebrating as best we can.
This may be the last meal we take all together, before the end of the war, or our lives.
Oh, that's right. We have to have a little birthday party first. Oh. It is strange to me that after so many years spent in siege, tomorrow the sun may dawn upon the Great Alliance for the last time. The Council was most clear. Bright Company fails to break Sauron's control over the Oathstone. All hope of our victory is fled. No, banish the thought. Banish it. We will think of something. We must think of something. Hmm. All is well, my brothers. Apologies were made and accepted. It seems to me only one apology was needed, my brother, and not two. At any rate, all is well now. So we have all of Isildur's sons here. I'll not lie to you, friend. Your mission tomorrow will not be easy, for you go to the most dangerous of all places in this black land. I envy you not the chance. I am no fool. But in this one thing I am envious. Tomorrow you'll be given the chance to do something, stand or fall, and you need not wait for fate to arrive. You will go to meet it. Not every man gets the opportunity for that. The elves of the Bright Company are renowned for their courage. If I had any advice to give you, it would be this: stay near to Glorfindel. Some measure of inspiration will serve you in good stead, and I warrant he will provide any you might require. Who can tell what we might say on the morrow? The glory of the bright company may be joined with yours, and men may speak in reverent tones of your own contribution. Victory might not be yours, but at the least, none will speak of cowardice. We cannot go with you, but none here are cowards. Had we the opportunity, we too would fight alongside the bright company as you will. As you will, is what I'm trying to say. Cowards, cowards. Does something trouble you, Tarandil? There is cowardice enough on these shores to fill up a mountain. Ah, again? Put them from your mind, my brother. Do not dwell on them, Tarandil. I cannot help it, no matter how much I try. Tarandil was at the victory feast held by the Oracle, the men of the mountain. He thinks he should have known them for oath breakers. It has come up once or twice. They swore an oath of friendship and alliance with our father. When the war began and he called for their aid, they refused. He levied a curse upon them for their cowardice and their oath breaking. All others came when we called and dared not refuse. I think even the men of the mountain served a purpose, and they will eventually. Do they not serve a useful example of our wrath? Masil, you speak the fool and shame yourself. Of course, we would rather have their spears. It's my birthday today, the 7th, since we came to Mordor. I know what I want for my birthday. We do survive. The Bright Company does complete its mission, and Sauron's hold over the Gazaboron is broken. I wish to ask my foster father for a boon. Do not seek treasure or reward or glory. I want only one thing. Terendil clenches his hands and fists. I want Isildur to send me to Morthond. I want to find Riok of the Mountain in whatever hole he hides, and make him pay for his oath breaking. I want to slay him myself. And if we survive the days to come, I will take no rest until I pay Riok for his treachery. I'm sure our father will grant you this boon. You've seen the anger that stirs him when talk turns to the men of the mountain. I have. His ire is unrelenting. It will not abate. He will not set aside his curse, not for any reason. Broken oaths and curses make for grim talk on a birthday, Tarangel. I've seen brighter birthdays, but if we do survive, let us look upon this one more fondly. Tarandil, I am certain Father will grant you the boon you seek. Did he not rage for a week and a day at the betrayal of the men of the mountain? If you desire the death of Riok, Father is certain to grant it. But let us speak of lighter matters. Among the Theoda recently come through Raidus, I saw a woman of such loveliness she could melt even your own sturdy armor, Tarandil. The blade she carried was sharp, even deadlier than your own, and with words of love you might win her heart. Why, she might join her weapon to yours and let Riok pay double for his treachery. All right, sit by the fire. Let us sit and speak of happier things. How beautiful is this Theoda woman, Michelle? I was a goodly distance away, if I tell you true. You cannot describe her as with the poets, but I'm fairly certain she was fair. Is this wine already gone? Pass me some of the bread and cheese. My appetite is sharpened. That is nothing new. You wound me, Ornahara. And to think you were once my favorite brother. Okay. Oh, and we are back in.
The Bright Company prepared to depart for the secret way of Halroth.
The sun dawned quickly on the day that the mission of the Bright Company was to take place. They gathered at Ekid and Idil and prepared to depart for the secret way of Halroth. Glorfindel, hey, you were there.
I hoped it would not be necessary to recall that dark day.
It is my turn to take up the tale, Italy. Well do I remember the glory of the Bright Company. But if there was valor, so too was there tragedy. I hoped it would not be necessary to recall that dark day, but I see now it cannot be avoided. Glorfindel turns to address Gandalf, sorrow etched on his face and regret in his voice. I beg your forgiveness, Olorin, my friend dear Gandalf. I wish it were not necessary to speak of it, but speak of it I will. There is no other way.
I do not understand this reluctance.
Do not understand Glorfindel's reluctance, Lodali. I've studied the records of the siege of Barad-dûr and understand well the price of victory over Sauron. I know too that the victory did not last, and it would be many thousands of years before Sauron's ultimate defeat. There's nothing Glorfindel need keep from me, and his belief that I will be disturbed by this tale of the Bright Company is most puzzling to me. I say he should speak on and delay no further. Glorfindel closes his eyes and nods with reluctant agreement.
Very well. I will conclude the tale, despite my misgivings.
Almost better.
Will you hear me then?
Tactical mastery. Sense vitality. Will. What? I don't have enough room to do that. I think it's confused. Anywho, let's talk to
Listen now to the
Glorfindel.
last glory of the Bright Company. We came without incident to the tunnel of Halroth, and ventured within. Our
Okay.
greatest danger lay ahead.
Finally on the path into Verador. It's time, it is time. Lindolin and the other elves of the Bright Company have gone ahead to secure the tunnel. We must still remain alert for any threats that might have arisen behind them. Stay near to me. Oh, hey, I know Glorfindel survives this. Hmm. Spoiler alert. Don't worry, Glorfindel. I'll kill all the things for you. Oh, yes. Where's Lindolin? He's gone out ahead, my lord. Did he give any reason for it? Trolls, quoth he. That sounds like him. And Lindolin has never been one to exercise caution, not when he knows his fellows could be endangered by some approaching threat. On any other day, I would appreciate that trait, but on this day, Lindolin is the only elf among us with the ability to break Sauron's hold on the Vendasar. His role is crucial, and he must be protected. Let us reach Lindolin before he does something rash. Morgant, man. That's okay. I'm doing a ridiculous amount of damage on these things. I have like, oh, I do. Okay. Haha. I'm like, why am I absolutely murdering these things? That is because I get a big old buff from Gorfidel. Times 10 outgoing damage. Yep, that would do it. Minus 95% incoming damage. I think that's elapsed of them. There are two. There's a crack in the wall of the tower, and the tunnel runs right to it. It is not undefended. Speak on, my old friend. What defends this entrance? More trolls? Nothing so corporeal. It is a shade, a spirit of no little power. Sauron charged it with the defense of the wall until the masonry could be repaired. It is called Zakharad. We cannot turn back now. We must defeat the shade. Onward, my friends. Sauron must not think we will dare this passage. and a for defense against the Bright Company. Especially Lotally with her times 10. Oh, no biggie. Crunch. I'm gonna invite Glorfindel to all of my raids from now on. I do not believe it. The rumors are true. Invaders in the tunnel. At last, I will prove myself to the master. Oh, how'd that work out for you? Bye. Listen to me very carefully, friend minstrel. Ahead, a stair spirals to the upper chambers of the tower, where the Vendisar awaits me. That is our destination. We will be exposed on the stairs, and I fear the hateful eyes that may watch our ascent. This I suggest that you go first. Nay, do not protest. I do not jest. I wish for you to climb first, so I may cover your ascent with my bow. I will slay any foes that think to threaten you from afar, and then the rest of us will follow. We'll meet you at the top of the stair. Right, you go first, slowly. Okay.
Oh yeah, they totally have reasons and everything.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first, reason?
You definitely, yes, yes, it's true. You go first. Reasons. Right, I thought I came here first. I will think no worse of you if you were to choose to turn back. No, you wish to stay? Then you are truly one of us, Melon. Ah, I don't even get the choice. All my allies must survive. I'll say this, I know Glorfindel survives, but I ain't ever heard of any of the rest of you. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Hmm, I think it gives up here. All right, Glorfindel, what do you got against all the Nazgul? You're foolish indeed to challenge the will of Sauron. What gives strength to this foolish courage? The Glenothrym will defy you. Yeah, for a time, perhaps. Do not stay here. It would grieve me deeply to leave my friends to their doom. Our goal lies above. Gwendolen must reach the Vandasar. Oh, let's just tell everybody what our plan is. Oh, hey, it's Sauron. You coming uninvited to the Tower of Sauron? How did you gain entrance to my sanctum? Sakharov, we punished. But first, let me see who possesses such boldness. You're not Gilgalad, but I do know you, Elf Lord. Your king sent you here to die. If that is to be my doom, I will accept it. But who are these others? Do they too choose death? I can grant it. Oh, cool. I have not seen your kind before. What powers do you wield? Why should the Elf Lord bring you to the sanctum of Sauron? Why should he wish for you to die here? It is of no consequence. I've been called I have called into being a storm, and it is on its way. Your alliance will be swept away by the wrath of it. As for the third member of this foolish band, what? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this guise you wear? You are no elf. Sauron, did you think you could work your evil unopposed? But that means Sauron, face me. Now, Rendellin.
Blood.
Oh, it's done. The power of the Vandasar is broken. Uh-oh. Follow Glorfindel. Run away. Uh-oh. My friends, I'm sorry. Well, hey, I'm running faster than you are, Glorfindel. Wait, where is Lindolin? I thought it was right behind us, but it is not so. Lindolin, forgive me, my friend. Alas, that we must bring word of both your triumph and your loss to the Great Alliance. By your hand the Vandasar is broken, and Sauron's control over the Gazaboron must begin to wane, and you should celebrate with us. But it is not to be. Quickly, Melon, there is no time to spare. Oh, here we go. We quickly. And here we are. Ooh, back in the Gladden Fields. Feel like the story isn't over yet, though. I remember a little of our last desperate flight down the stairs through the tunnel of Halrock. When we returned to the relative safety of Adambel, we were greeted with more sorrow than we brought with us. Men spoke in hushed tones of the last ride of noble Anarion, son of their high king, slain on the field before the dark tower. It was a great stone cast from the heights that laid him low and ended his life. But I will never forget that it was his writing that granted us access to Halrock and enabled Lendeling to break Sauron's hold upon the Vandasar. For so it was. Without the power of the Oathstone, the Gazaboran splintered. No longer unified, the storm of wrath dissipated, falling apart into its component tribes. The Easterlings fled, no longer dominated by Sauron's will, and they turned instead for their own lands. Their appetite for conquering was sated, and it would be many years before they returned. Even so, Middle Earth has never seen so great a horde as the Gazaboran in all the time since. And we have Landellen to thank for that. It's become very quiet, Gandalf. Is everything all right? I do not know, Lord Elrond. Something speaks to me from the distant past. Your story's not ended, Glorfindel. I would like to hear the end of it. Are you certain, my friend? I am. Lindolin was not slain, though he remained behind. Sauron brought him to the dungeons of Barad-dûr. He was tortured, tormented by the Dark Lord. The experience was cruel. Finally, he succumbed to death. Death. Sauron said that Lindolin was not of your people. Sauron spoke true. Lindolin was no elf, and that was not his true name. He had been sent to Middle-earth by the Valar in the guise of my people. He was to combat the evils of Sauron, and this he did. Many years later, in this third age of Middle-earth, they sent him back. They gave him a new name and a new form. They also gave him this kindness. They removed all memory of his life as Lindolin. Can it be so? Yes, I remember. The veil of the Valar abates. I have walked this Middle Earth for the long years of this third age, sent by the powers to oppose Sauron. But this was not the first time the Valar sent me hither, though they hid the truth of it from my memory's sight. For what purpose? It is true, I remember the bright company, not only from the tales of Glorfindel, but as if I were there, for so I was, in different form. I know the torments Lindolin suffered within the dungeons of Barad-dûr, for it was I who suffered them. And though Sauron be gone, the memory of those days fills me with a terror I thought never to know. But this cut is the worst. I have known these elf lords for so long, and this secret they kept from me. Why? Why did you keep this truth from me, Glorfindel? Have I not been a friend to you, no matter the name I wore? You knew me first as Olorin, and now you know me as Gandalf or Mithrandir. Why would you keep the knowledge of Lindolin from me? No, I'm not angry. Perhaps it was a kindness to keep this from me. What say you to this?
And so it is done.
When I beheld Olorin in his new guise in the third age, I knew him to be Lindolin come again. And yet he knew nothing of his former life, and remembered nothing of the trials he endured within Barad-dûr. I could think of one reason only for that. The Valar had kept the memory of that experience from him as a mercy and a kindness. For if he remembered the cruel tortures he suffered at the hands of Sauron, how could he oppose the Dark Lord on his return, knowing the extent of Sauron's malice? And so he chose not to speak of Lendelin or his sad fate within the Dark Tower during the final days of the Second Age. I do not wish to inflict this harm upon Olorin, Mithrandir, or Gandalf, and for that I beg his forgiveness. Glendelyn was my closest adviser, my dearest friend, and I failed him. I thought it best to leave his memory behind, for if that was the purpose of the Valor, I would not wish to do otherwise.
Do not trouble yourself, Glorfindel, on my account.
All that was kept from me has been restored, and I do not begrudge you for keeping secret that which the Valar hid from me. Indeed, in this knowledge I find reassurance. For now I see my reluctance to oppose Sauron directly was born from Gwendolen's sad fate. And it is not true that Frodo's quest proved successful and the ring and the Dark Lord. Wait. And is it not true that Frodo's quest proved successful and the ring and the Dark Lord both defeated at one stroke? Indirect opposition found success where direct opposition could not. And in that, I may say, the Bright Company came at last to have its greatest triumph. But I remember now that which I did not before. I know the end of the tale.
While Sauron tormented Lendelin within Barad-dûr, his enemies were not idle.
The leaders of the Great Alliance met once more in secret. A trap was decided upon, a trap with which to ensnare Sauron and draw him forth from his tower. The Lady Galadriel had remained in Ysethil after she and Lord Celeborn drove the Nazgul from the valley. Now she sent her thought to Lendelin, and she spoke directly through Sauron's prisoner to the Dark Lord. One broke the gates of Ithil, Lendelin said, his last breaths upon him, and Sauron laughed, for he had the mastery. Two sundered the ramparts of Mornon, Lendelin continued, and doubt began to gnaw at the Dark Lord. He long feared the elven rings, and in his secret heart he dreaded to think that they could be used against him. But three, Lendelin said, as the last of his strength departed, the power of the three, wielded together, shall cast you down at last. And so Lendelin perished, and his final words remained hidden to me for this past age. But now I know what they wrought, for it was by this message that the deceiver was himself deceived. Sauron climbed to the pinnacle of Barad-dûr, and looking down from that vast height, he beheld a shining figure ascending the slopes of Mount Doom. Fear seized him, and he imagined that Gil-galad possessed all three elven rings, and would use them together to destroy him, for the three were hidden from his sight, but he thought he could sense they had been united at last.
The Dark Lord unleashed the last of his armies in a final bid to destroy his enemies.
I was with my king on this day. I know what then befell. The Dark Lord opened his gates and emptied Barad-dûr, unleashing the last of his armies in a final bid to destroy those who besieged him. On the slopes of Mount Doom, he brandished his black mace Mordagnir. Mordagnir? Mordagnir. Waiting through friends and foe alike until at last he faced the high kings of the Alliance. The One Ring shone on his finger, and he sent forth his evil thought, seeking to dominate Gil-galad's mind when he donned the three. But he did not see it. Gil-galad threw back his head and laughed at Sauron. The Dark Lord was filled with rage. The rings of my people may be together, my liege declared, but they are far from here, far from you. And Sauron knew he had been deceived, lured from the safety of his tower, and he knew his peril. But above all else, he desired to inflict anguish upon those arrayed before him. He sent his will into the One Ring, and his foes were held fast by its spell. Sauron fell upon them in deadly combat, and great gouts of ash and flame roared from the peak of Mount Doom. I stood upon the slope, too far to aid my king, but near enough to feel the terrible heat of that battle. Even now I can feel it, and I know the pain of that day anew. Ew. And I get a cloak. All right. See. Night, Vital now. Agilite now. Oh, that's me. Will.
That day, as battle raged upon Gorgoroth, the fates of many were decided. Gil-galad and Elendil challenged the Dark Lord, and he answered with a power none could resist. But as the enemy toyed with his foes, the kings of elves and men struck. It was their greatest deed, and their last. And after, as payment for so many losses, and Weirgild for his father's death, Isildur claimed his prize, the ruling ring.
All right. I think I got a lot of XP out of that. All right. All right. Talk to Elrond.
Sauron was defeated, but at
All
great
right.
cost.
Chapter 13. Lucky 13. Sauron was defeated, but at great cost. Elves and men wept for their lost kings, for the life of Gil-galad and Elendil would never come again. But there was joy too, for the war was ended, and none could see the sorrows of the age to come. The ring should have been destroyed on that day, but it was not. Isildur took the ring as payment for the death of his father and the travails of his people, an heirloom of his house, and a record of the triumph over evil. The several kindreds that opposed the alliance returned to their homelands, nursing their grief and holding dear the memory of their triumph. We believed Sauron was gone forever, and it was not so. All right, Isildur, time for you to own up.
My memory is less certain of the years following the defeat of Sauron.
Nathala's enchantment still enwreaths my mind, and I find it difficult to clearly recall the events that transpired. There were 2 years of peace, that I know, and during those years the kingdom of Gondor was restored to order. Vows were taken before the oath stones, and a tomb made my father, Amon Anwar. It was to be a hallowed place. And at last it was time for me to take up my father's place on the high throne in the north. My queen and my youngest son waited for me in Rivendell, where they marked the time during the war, so I chose not to sail. With the company of knights, my sons, and the heirlooms of my house, I rode north, to my death and the death of my sons. We were all of us betrayed. You have agreed to help me avenge this treachery, Lot'olate, but I not see the face of my betrayer, and I cannot remember what befell. In my mind's eye, I see only a chamber with a white stone beneath a rotating beacon, but all is hazy, as if I looked from a great distance. I do not know what this vision signifies. Gothava's enchantment releases its grip upon my mind but slowly, and leaves only mystery in its wake. Hmm. Yes, Gandalf,
Yes,
can I
my
help
friend.
you?
I know what chamber Isildur describes.
Many pieces fall now into place for me. For as Lindolin, I knew many things and saw much. As if a room was sealed to me has been flung open. And while the pain is unwelcome, the knowledge is not. I deem it a worthy trade, though Glorfindel regrets the necessity. This I believe loyally. It was known to Sauron's servant that Isildur perished in the Gladden fields. They scoured the swamplands hereabouts in search of the ring, but they found it not. In time, his bones were recovered and borne away to places of great evil, perhaps to the very houses of lamentation, it is said, lie hidden somewhere within Mordor. What unholy rites were performed with his remains? I hazard no guess, but in time perhaps even the servants of Sauron tired of this villainy, and his bones were brought to some chamber where they, in time, were forgotten. The white stone Isildur describes must be the Vandasur of Duoth, which stood in Minas Ithil until the forces of Sauron captured the city during the Second Age. It was moved to Barad-dûr at the direction of the Witch King, hauled on a great wagon, pulled by hill trolls into Gorgoroth. It was in the dark tower that the Bright Company broke the spells upon it. After the war, when the Alliance razed Barad-dûr to its foundation, the Vandasar must have been returned to Minas Ithil. So that explains the white stone. What of the rotating beacon? Indeed, there was a beacon of some note in that city, kept in an upper chamber atop Barad Curon, the tower of the crescent moon. It seems to me bones of Isildur came to lie within this tower. If his shade is to find rest, those bones must be recovered. But let us not dwell upon that task. We have been some time away from the Bjorning lands, and Grimbeorn may worry about our absence. We should return to him and assure him that we still have need of his hospitality. I desire also to return to my study of the Black Book of Mordor. For now I see for I see now that some things I long held to be certain were perhaps not so, and I wonder at some avenues of learning I might have dismissed too readily. Talk to Grimbjorn. Okay. Well, that was quite the little side quest I got there. Well, that was the main quest. Um, but oh, I see. That gets me back. Okay. That gets me there. That wasn't helpful. That wasn't helpful. I guess I should have figured that out. Let's go back to where I need to go to talk to Grimbjorn. And and I think there were still a couple of quests I need to do. the mail. So I'll talk to Grimbjorn, and I suspect this is all going to send me off to next thing to do. But I'm going to stick around for a little bit. As I've told you, I'm very busy locally. If you wish to see Leothred where he wants to go, I have no objection. All I ask is that he pays the toll for travel that all must pay. I am glad that you are here, Hobbit. I do not wish for nor have the time for guests. Oh yeah, that guy. We escorted him here or something.
Greetings.
Slowly, what brings you to my home? You have not brought another parade of elves with you, I hope. I have not I do not have time for hospitality. Forgive me, Hobbit. You are always welcome here. You tell Grimbjorn that you have come to meet Leothred, a scholar who seeks permission to study the history of his people in these lands. I've not seen this Leothred yet. Since you're here, I should inform you that all is not well in the Vales. The Eagles have recently warned me that trouble is brewing north of here in the Lang Flood. Okay.
So, the wizard and the elves have not gone.
You again. And here I hoped you might have gone and taken wizard and elves with you. It was a pleasant thought, but now it is dashed.
If they remain, you must still perform the chores I ask of you.
As long as they remain, you must continue to perform the chores I ask of you. We have need of firewood, for so near the mountains the nights can be cold, even in summer, and there are still orcs and wargs about, despite your efforts on the other day. Put an end to their raids and teach them a lesson about persistence. Carry out these chores, and I will let the wizard and the elf stay a little longer. Firewood, orcs is, wargs is. Okay.
You will guide me then. Splendid.
Oh, guide me then. Splendid. What is this, a toll? Of course I will pay it. It is the least I can do for the kindness that Grimbjorn has shown me.
I hope that I am not a burden to you.
I could be his companion on my travels. It is a boon to my research that you accompany me with your current knowledge of these lands and your skill in combat. I have heard the North can be a harsh place at times. Now then, I suppose we'd best be off. The story of the Rohirrim begins, in many ways, at Avabarg. Okay, so and okay, I've got some miscellaneous quests to do here. Get firewood. Firewood. Yeah, go this way. I'm sure I'll be able to find orcs. I always can. Oh, they always find me. Follow the road, I'll find orcs. Hmm. There's four right here. Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay, okay, okay. Um, don't need any more orcs series. I really just need one more. Orxes. There's one. Oh, yeah. Go back to Grimby now. Then we need to go to that little island. Where did this come from? I've only ridden up and down this road 80 times. Apparently, this is the last one I needed. Alrighty. I guess that finishes that quest. Yeah, I was gonna see if this tactical mitigation crit, tactical mastery. I'm gonna keep my tactical mastery. I still have. I, it's broken. More. Yay. This one, the next one. Oh, sure, I find wargs and things everywhere. Oh, indeed, I actually still have outstanding here is goblins. There's a road that can always can always see this road coming from this way, but not the other way. Oh, hey, look what I found.
people begins with King Malhari of the Northmen.
Disaster befell the Theota during the Battle of the Plains against the Wayne Riders. When King Mahari fell in that battle, his son Marwini led the survivors on a long journey in search of a new home, ultimately resettling here. Marwini's people, the Aithuda, or horsefolk, were not well satisfied dwelling in the Vales. They desired open country where they could ride and graze their herds. Their scouts found this in the Floodfells, but Marwini didn't get too rough and untamable a land, and too close to the threat of Agni to halt his weary people.
Is there a case somewhere? Yeah, yeah.
History of the Rohirrim. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna learn the history of the Rohirrim. Hey, it's Marwini. So be it. We shall settle here. Okay. Talk to Leothrid somewhere in that Avapard. I guess I am going to wander around until I find him again. Oh, I see a ring.
Wait, where's it go?
Oh, that's why there's random horses up here. Here, Marwini built the Hall of Avabard and named it the chief fortress of the Aithuda. This was not the safest of places, though. The coming of the horsefolk roused orcs of Hithaglir, Hithaglir, who attacked them again and again over the next century. Both Marwini's son, Forthwini, and his grandson, Forthari, fell in battle to the orcs, leaving only Forthari's youngest son as heir. Ah! Oh, okay. There they are, getting murdered by orcs. Okay, now I have to defeat orcs. Not that one, though. That one's a historical. I need a valid target. How about this orc that's right here? Orcs. All right, now what? Ooh. Kari's youngest son was Frumgar, a boy of 12, now chieftain of the Aithuda. While still a youth, Frumgar became a hero of his people, befriending both the Longbeard dwarves and the wizards Gandalf the Grey and Barendil the Brown. All right. It is an honor to meet you. Hmm. Okay. Talk to Leothrid somewhere. Okay. Here, maybe? Gar even received an ancient sword of Westerness, which he named Roughlada, to recur near the White. With these allies, he defeated the orcs in battle at the age of 17. I shall lead my people with this gift you have given me. Hrothgar was victorious. It was said, however, defeat only stoked the orcs' thirst for blood. 13 years later, the orcs returned to raise the Aethuda's lands and sack Avabarg. To see those orcs upon Avabarg, no, this is a great injustice to the legacy of the Rohirrim. We must show these foul marauders that Avabarg is no home for orcs. Defeat more orcs. Okay. Sorry, dude. We've got some ancient revenge to get on you. I mean, they don't live here anymore, but you know, men they need to make a point. Okay, learn the history of the Rohirrim with Leofred. Okay, where is he now? Oh, where is he now? Where is that guy now? Uh, hmm, where did he go? Okay, there he is. Wait, oh, place of history, I see. Grimgar and his warriors defeated the marauders, but afterwards his lands lay in ruin. Where's my wife? Oh, got old, didn't he? Continue, okay. Find him someplace else. There's someplace else. Wait, where is someplace else? Okay. His wife's body lay among the ashes of his hall. She died there, having given birth to their only son.
Hrungar named his son Fram, and swore he would not know the same sorrow when he was grown.
In my research, I learned that 6 years after Fran's birth, Agnar fell. The kingdom's demise was sudden, coming only a year after the Witch King's final victory over Arthedain in the fall of Fornost. The chronicles of this time say an army of elves and men of Gondor, having come too late to save the northern Dunedain, put the Agmarim to the sword and sent the Witch King flying back to Mordor. Why do I relate this story to you? Agmar's fall had an important connection with my people. At this time, Gundabad no longer had the Iron Kingdom at its back, and the moors and glens of the Wellingfolds no longer seemed so daunting as they had to Marwini 100 years before. Fram saw this as an opportunity to lead his people to great things.
Perhaps it would be in our best interest to check in with Grimbeorn.
Or if we were to head north from Avabar, that path would lead us past the Bjorninghus. Perhaps it would be in our best interest to check in with Grumbjorn. I do not wish to overstay my welcome in these lands. Okay, so he wants me to go back to Bjorning House, but I really want to go up to here and see if there's actually anything else I can do there, because last time I was up there, it told me to take the boat across the lake, but there wasn't any way of doing that. So, of course, it was also to do group stuff, which I don't necessarily want to do, but I do at least want to figure out how to get to it or what it is. Because I definitely don't remember. How do you get out of this place? I think you have to go this way. There's the road. Now, where's going to be the best? Actually, probably all the way down. Let's just go to one of these places that's closer. Stairmaster. Okay, that's far reaching.
You will
Oh,
help
but
us
it's
face our
okay.
foes, yes?
Uh, which one was that? Wasn't it? Okay. Let's back a little bit. Wait, they're better take this way. I don't remember. Is that just more orcs? That is just more orcs. Oh, haha, they are attacking me. They're just slow. Okay. Okay. So really what I just need to do is go along the edge of the swamp here until I get to where I can go up. So I need to go around this though. This is the right way. That's the right way though. Person's following me. Not in combat. I want to stop in here. So
Greetings.
we can't get there from here using that boat anyway. Is there like another boat? Is there an elfy boat? They said there were elves. The elves were gonna let me use their boat to get across. Whatever. I have another ring further up. Let's see what that one's all about. Now, high road or the low road? Suppose. Let's try the low road. I still seem to be going in the right direction. Hey, Glorfindel. Hey, Glorfindel. Think you can give me that sweet bonus that, no? Futaba presents a pleasant form, but her answers to Lord Elrond's questions are evasive. Even the patience of the Eldar is not infinite, not while we suspect her of some misdeed. Perhaps she will answer if the inquiry is from someone she trusts. We need to know if she caused the flood, and if she did, if it was due to some dispute with the dwarves or another petty cause.
I have need of your aid.
You approach Golthava and ask if she might answer the questions of Lord Elrond. She seems to ignore you, barely acknowledging your presence, but then turns to you and speaks. We meet again, Lodali. I have need of your aid. She seems completely untroubled by the questioning of two very powerful elf lords. She turns to gaze at the ruins of what must have been a grand dwarf fortress before its ruin. She does not hide her melancholy as she reminisces. Once the dwarves dwelled here in great numbers. They busily toiled below, sang songs, feasted, lived their lives. We had an understanding, and though I did not appreciate it then, I enjoyed their company. But now they are gone at my bidding. It was I who flooded this place. She noticed your shock and confusion at this admission. You feel Elrond and Glorfindel's stances change, and see their faces harden. It appears Elrond's suspicions were justified. Judge me if you wish, for I failed. I did not achieve what sought. On that day, a great darkness stirred beneath the mountains. The ground shook, and new paths opened deep below. I felt the taint of evil seep ever closer. I could not allow it to corrupt the Gladden. I bade the dwarfs leave and called forth the floodwaters. Dark, twisted things lurk in the depths below. They did not drown as I'd hoped. I merely halted their spread. I am not able to defeat them on my own. Perhaps with your help, I may finally be able to set things right. You ask what became of the dwarfs that used to occupy this place. Indignation briefly flashes across her face. I would never have let them drown by my hand. Whatever befell them after they left the shores of the Gladden was beyond my control. My wish was for them to live their lives happily in other halls. Elrond's stance has relaxed considerably after hearing Golthava's story. It appears my suspicions were correct, but her reasoning was sound. She was benevolent enough to give the dwarves time to escape before acting. If she requires assistance clearing this place of evil, she will have it.
When you are ready, we shall begin.
You tell the maiden that you and the elf lords will assist her in Kidzilkala. Very well, Lodali. When you are ready, we shall begin. But know this, I must test your strength before I allow you into harm's way. Complete the depths of Kidzilkala. Hmm. 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 Complete the depths of Kidzilkala on any difficulty mode. You may enter this instance by using the instance join panel, and it is a fellowship quest. Okay. Let's see, minimum 120. Probably can't do that. Wait, size one. Wait, I can do size one. Wait, what? We can do it at size one? Level 127, tier one. Okay, sure.
The dwarves left deep scars in the
Solo
earth,
duo.
and in
All
their
right.
absence, terrible things have moved into the dark pits. The waters of the Gladden merely halted their spread. With your aid, I might end this threat for good.
Glorfindel and I are prepared to assist you with the trial of the maiden and whatever dangers lie beyond. Be wary. She is more powerful than she appears. If, despite her ability, she is unable to defeat the fellow creatures within the flooded mine, that is all the more reason to be on guard. Pass the test. All right, and what is this? This is a oh oh. This is how to get my own very own pet Glorfindel. Can I just? Oh, and Elrond. Oh, anyway, yeah, my very own pet Glorfindel. And let's just eat this because why not? And it's all that because why not? My inventory's a mess.
This place the dwarves called Kidzu-Kala. I sensed fell things from deep below the earth approaching. I bade them leave and flooded the mines. The waters of the Gladden did not drown the nameless things as I hoped they would. The creatures linger still in the deep waters, corrupting, polluting. If you aid me, you will be rewarded. But first, you must prove you are strong enough to triumph over the shadows below. Spirits of the Gladden, hear my call.
So are we attacking her? What's happening?
I hold the waters. You are indeed strong. Remove the shadows that corrupt this place.
Alright.
I will drain the waters. Enter and beware.
Watch that one down. Yeah, actually. Okay. Alright, let's go. Oh, darklings. I'm not gonna be dissuaded by dark maws and darklings. That's
That is
green
the
water.
source of the corruption. Draw its attention while I cleanse this place.
Oh, it's like Mini Watcher. Tentacles. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, tank this, because our quarters, we need to kill these things. Oof. Oh, killing that one first. What about this one? Oh, it's my corruption removal. Jesus Christ. I mean, I know I have whack. Alright. You're a pain in the ass. Let's see how tentacles first. Maybe? So I have else removes corruptions. nothing. Nothing else I have. Ruins corruptions. Thought I had a range corruption removal. I have to somewhere. Broken skies. I don't got it. 62
Thank
marks
you
and
for your
27
valor,
medallions.
heroes.
Not bad,
Now
really.
the waters of the Gladden shall remain pure.
Our task here is done. Now that the corruption is purged and the water receded, perhaps life could one day return to this place. Thank you for your part in finding the truth of this matter. Without your presence, we might have punished Pibalba for a crime that she did not commit. With this mystery solved, we will take our leave and return to Bjorning House. There is still a long road ahead of us, long road before us, and we should take advantage of Grimbjorn's hospitality while it is available to us.
Thank you for your valor, heroes.
Darkness has been defeated and the waters of the Gladden made safe. Thank you for your valor. Alrighty. Is that it? Is there a way out of here? Look, there is. There's a whole chest of dwarf. Right. Raspy Maw Trophy. Ooh, nice. Couple minor dollars. All right. Well, that's something at least. So let's head back to Bjarning House and turn in these quests. And I guess, oh, crap. I stayed standing next to, let's just stand next to these guys and map to, I suppose while I'm here, I could try to swim out to the other side. Oh, come on, just leave me alone. I'm not doing anything. I'm just swimming. Just going for a little swim. Is there a place I can land? Yeah, not for a while. Looks like. Mostly I just want to figure out where the boat goes over here. Mm, here's questions. How big are they? They're not too bad. And they're only level 120, so. I wonder if there's a deed out here for source quest, trophies from the mountain. I mean, he's kind of big. Let's just see. Okay, now I confused him, so he's like, I don't know how to hit you. If he wouldn't keep going to anti-exploit, it'd be a lot easier. So, Stone Giant Medallion. Trophy. Collect Stone Giant. Defeated Stone Giants. Okay. Anyone see any boats, though? Definitely see giants. Hmm. Ah, wait, I think I see it.
What do you want?
Okay. So there's the boat that I can take across to do this. Uh, uh, yeah. I guess probably standing out here by the dock guy is going to be the safest place. I think I'm going to log out, and next time I'll do these quests up here. As long as these guys aren't squished together too much, I should be able to do this without any problem. And then we'll go back to Bjorninghuis and talk to Grimbjorn and whoever else I need to talk to. So now, good night.